Good afternoon and welcome to the SAME Capital Week Exhibitor Orientation and Training webinar. This is Ann McLeod coming to you from the SAME National Office in Alexandria, Virginia. And today I will be joined by my teammate Kelly Dawson, our Exhibit Sponsorship Manager, and also our teammate Tamel is here in the background to assist with any technical issues. We think you're probably experts at using this platform before, but just to refresh your memory, use the chat to let us know if you've got any technical issues, and use the Q&A to submit questions on the Q&A tab. So Kelly here will be leading most of our webinar, and hopefully you all know Kelly as she's regularly in touch with you about all matters concerning your booth and sponsorship in events. And again, this is Ann McLeod, and I am here with my teammates also to get you to know everything that you need to know. So we do want to thank all of our Capital Week sponsors for their support during this week. We appreciate all your support, and if you're out there, thanks so much, and we're glad that you're with us. Just a reminder of SAME's Code of Conduct. The bottom line is be kind. And in terms of your exhibiting experience and Code of Conduct, we do know it is important to promote your booth presence, but we do suggest that you don't visit other booths and leave notes in those booths telling people to come and visit your booth. That's kind of not cool. So let's just put that out there. Otherwise, in general, today and when you're connecting with Capital Week, we do recommend that you disconnect from a VPN, as that can create a lot of difficulties. As you know, audio is broadcast through your computer speakers, and if you have problems with audio at any time, we do recommend refreshing your browser. We are recording this webinar today for future viewing, or if some of your teammates couldn't be with us, that will be posted in the Exhibitor Service Center. And now let's start with a quick poll and find out if you attended SBC. Let us know if you did, yes, no, or if you don't know what SBC is. Hopefully that's not the case, but you never know, you might be new. So let's get those answers in. And looks like 84% of you did participate in SBC. Well, that's great. We wanted to know that because that will help us when we're talking about certain things. That means that you are familiar with our platform. And for those of you who are new, we are going to show you all the rooms. Okay, and with that, I am going to turn it over to Kelly so she can go over some of the important things that you need to make sure you take care of.
Thank you so much, Ann, and everybody, welcome to the Exhibitor Orientation Training webinar. I appreciate you taking the time out today as we dive deep into everything that you need to do to set yourself up for success for our upcoming Virtual Capital Week. First, I want to go over our Exhibitor Checklist. These are kind of the most important items that need to be done before March 22nd. As a reminder, you do need to register to attend through the Exhibitor Booth Staff Registration Form. Just because you are signed up to be your booth coordinator does not mean that you are automatically registered. So if you need access to the sessions or your exhibitor booth chat, please make sure you use the Exhibitor Booth Staff Registration Form. Update and review your company directory and demographic information. This is how attendees will search you, so please make sure you go back in and review and update any missing information. Updating your documents, videos, products, and press releases, your virtual booth graphics, and then your schedule, your booth chat hours. These are the hours you will be available to chat with attendees at your virtual booth space. Also, to set up your one-on-one networking appointment schedule. This is a little bit different than our matched networking appointments that we had at SBC. And as a reminder, this will be all done, your appointments, scheduling, accepting, declining through your Attendee Service Center account. And then lastly, which was just published today, is our pre-conference attendee list. Please use this to one-time use to promote your participation in any prizes or giveaways that you are having at your booth to our attendees. And then lastly, creating your itinerary. We want to make sure you are organized and ready to go. So make sure you bookmark your sessions, your one-on-one appointments, and then your exhibitors that you'd like to visit. All right, and then important reminders and deadlines. We do recommend that you have your virtual booth space ready to go and uploaded by March 17th. This is a couple days before the actual event, but this helps us catch and try to fix any uploading issues that you might have. We are going to walk through all the demo today, so no need to worry. And then, of course, if you have any questions or problems, feel free to email me at exhibit@same.org. We do have 2 other trainings coming up this week. We have our attendee orientation training webinar on March 11th, and then our live event platform orientation and training on Monday, March 22nd. The virtual event platform will go live right after the training on March 22nd. So please make sure that you go in and set chat hours if you will be available. Attendees will be able to visit the virtual exhibit hall and your virtual booth space. And as a reminder, we do have dedicated exhibit hours, which will not interfere with any of our briefing or education sessions. So below we have listed the times for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. All right, and again, very important, registration is now open. Please make sure you use the exhibitor booth staff registration form. All virtual booth spaces do receive 2 full conference complimentary registrations and 1 chat-only registration. If someone from your company will only be chatting or answering chats for your virtual booth space, but not attending any sessions or briefings, they can use that chat-only registration. And then just to make sure that everybody from your company is registered under the booth staff registration form so that attendees can view who from your company has attended. All right, and now I will hand it over to Anne to do a live event platform orientation.
Okay, thank you, Kelly. So we are just going to go quickly into the live event platform to refresh your memory about the live event platform, and if you weren't with us for SBC, so you can get a sneak peek of what everything looks like. So once you've logged in, you will find yourself here in the lobby. It does kind of look like a convention center. And there's multiple ways to interact with the platform. So first, here you see all of our wonderful sponsors. Thank you again to all of these companies. And you see here Expo Hall, Education and Activity Portal, and Networking Portal. So you can enter these are the 3 main engagement opportunities within Capital Week. So you can enter those different things by clicking on the names above those doorways, or you can use this top menu. So for today, I'm going to use this top menu. And you can see here we have the Expo Hall. So when I hover my mouse over Expo Hall, you see this drop-down list. This is a way to quickly see exhibitors in these different categories. As you can see, we've got government agencies, small business, architectural services, engineering services, and the like. We've got exhibitors alphabetically, and then we have this directory, which is really a search function. So let's just click on Expo Hall, and here you can see all of the companies who are exhibiting at Capital Week. I'm just going to move this little thing over to the side here, and you can see that there are multiple pages. So to see the second page, you want to click on 2. Now, these logos that are displaying, you upload that within your Exhibitor Service Center, and Kelly's going to demonstrate that for us. a little bit later. But basically, when you click on a company, let's go to Black & Veatch. I'm going to click on Black & Veatch's booth. And here we come into their booth. So you can see that they have uploaded their graphics. These look fantastic. So this is what your booth is going to look like once you've got your graphics uploaded. There are 3 different sizes of booths. So this is the tier 1 largest booth. And this black box here is a video. So it seems they haven't uploaded a video yet. But when somebody would come in here, this video would automatically play. So let's look in the top right corner here. If I click on About Us, this is going to open the profile of the exhibitor. And again, this comes, you enter this information in your exhibitor service. Oops, their video started playing. There we go. I was like, what is that noise? So you upload this information here in your Exhibitor Service Center account, which Kelly is going to show that. You see that this is where your booth chat hours are listed and that the videos that have been uploaded to the account are shown here as well. We can click here to look at any press releases that were uploaded, obviously videos, documents, etc. So that is where people find these things that you have uploaded to the booth. Below the booth, you can see here, this says chat offline right now because no one from Black & Veatch is available. But if they were online, by clicking on this, it would take you to the booth's public chat. And appointment is here. But there are no appointments directly with an exhibitor because all the appointments at Capital Week are individual to individual. So we will work on removing that so no one gets confused. By clicking on Contacts, the attendee will be able to see all of the individuals who are registered as booth staff for Black & Veatch. So this is one of the reasons it's very important for your team to register on the booth staff because it obviously gives them visibility within your booth. And here I can send a note to one of the individuals. You can see we've got a quick pop-up here that allows me to send an email through the system. And I can also save the individual to the Ebag if I want to do that. We'll cover the Ebag in a moment. And so that's why it's important for all of your team to register under the booth staff form. The Ebag, and if I click on that, it is going to save this exhibitor to my Ebag. And the Ebag is basically like the conference bag where you can store all the information that you want to go back to later. So that's an overview of the booth. The education and activity portal is where all of the sessions are listed. So let's just quickly go here. You can see that the sessions are listed by day and time. This is a place that I can add a session to my agenda. If I click on the name of the session, it tells me the speakers in that session. If there is a description, it will show here. And we have the post-session discussion chats. And you can enter those chats by coming to the session listing here and then clicking on discussion chat. Easy as that. And so you'll see here you can interact with the sessions and find them in different ways by type and by day and time. So next is the networking portal. I'm going to skip over that real quick for a moment. And let's go to the game room. This is where people can collect points for interacting with the platform in different ways. We're still setting this all up, but we do award folks for visiting exhibitors, for downloading things. So make it fun for them to participate. And of course, we have prizes. The Wellness Lounge is something new. So this is where folks can come in order to do at their own time any wellness activities such as stretching, yoga, self-care videos, etc. So this is a cool addition to our platform this time around. The Ebag is again where folks can save different things as they access the portal. So as we showed before, I saved a few things to my Ebag. And so now I can come here and this will show me the different exhibitors that I have saved. And I can click on the link. It's going to take me back to their booth. So that's great. I saved, I clicked on the same thing. I saved this contact of Scott. And if I have any documents that I've downloaded, those will all be here. And I will let you know for SBC, we got great feedback on the Ebag. People did love being able to save everything and come back to it all in one place. And in the spirit of transparency, one of the pieces of feedback we did get from SBC was after the event, when you wanted to download stuff to your own computer, you had to do it one by one. So we are talking with our vendor about the possibility of hopefully downloading everything in one fell swoop. So we shall see if that is in place by the time we get to Capital Week. The help desk is obviously where you can find help. We've got some documents here and you can chat with us, but that's a quick way to find help. So the networking portal, let's talk about that. And this is probably where many people will spend a lot of their time. My agenda will show you everything that you have bookmarked. So if you get organized in advance, all you have to do is come to my agenda and you can find your list of sessions right here and enter them through the buttons below the session. Now, I am not an exhibiting personnel, so mine looks a little different, so I should have displayed that. But the networking portal, and then this would say Exhibitor Lounge. And here is where the very top item for booth staff is going to say enter booth chat. And so that will get you into the booth chat. So you are recognized as a staff of that booth. Mine says chat and discussion groups because I'm just a regular attendee. And I'm going to come back to that in a moment. Let's do the keyword search is where you can search for any attendees or people. So why don't we see what happens when I type in black. So you can see the search results here. I've got a tab that says attendee. And this person, Lance, with Black and Veatch, is registered as an attendee. That's why he showed up on the attendee tab. Booth staff is going to show anyone with Black and Veatch or as their company. Maybe they've got their last name is Black. They would show here. All the documents that have been uploaded with the word Black are going to show. We're going to see exhibitors with the word Black in their name, etc. So that's the keyword search. Session evaluations, conference certificate, those are pretty obvious. The conference certificate is going to show you your PDHs. The SmartMatch Appointments is where if you have any appointments where you will come during Capital Week to manage them and to connect with your appointments. And so we can go into that a little bit later. And let's hit chat and discussion groups now. So this opens our unified communications portal. So again, we've you experienced this at SBC if you participated in that. Think of this as Slack or Teams for Capital Week. So here at the top, you can see exhibitor booths. So if I'm here, I can search for any booth alphabetically. And this is how I would enter the booth chat for that booth. So I am going to go to Black and Veatch, and you can see here as an attendee, this is what I would see. So you can see here on the right-hand side, I have a list of all of the individuals who are registered as booth staff with Black and Veatch. And if I want to send a note to Black and Veatch, I just type it down here. And I won't hit send because then that will be in their booth. So this is going to keep a list of all of the booths that I have visited over time. And private chat is where I can have a private chat with another individual. So if I click on that search button, you see it comes up with a pop-up and it lets me search for a person. Pretty easy and self-explanatory. So let's use my normal example of Black. And if I want to then chat directly with Angela, I can just click on that chat icon next to her name, and it's going to open my private chat with Angela. So that is the chat and discussion group portion. The discussion groups, let me just mention that real quick, is going to show a list of different discussions around certain topics. We haven't set many of these up yet, but if you're familiar from SBC, we have some fun ones just like this. Are you a member of the Peloton family? I obviously put that in since I am a member of the cult. But we will have some other discussion groups here around, AEC related topics, etc., for you to engage in. And these were also very popular with SBC. So that is a quick overview of the networking portal. So let's head back to the slides. And I think now we are going to get into a little bit more info on setting up your booth. So back to you, Kelly.
Thank you, Anne. So yes, just as a reminder, we're just going to go through everything that needs to be done to set your virtual booth space up, and to make sure it's working correctly, your graphics look great, and then we'll also do a sneak peek at virtual post-event analytics from our SBC event that you will also be able to download for Capital Week. So give me 1 second. All right, so the first thing that you will need to do is log into your Exhibitor Service Center account. This login email and password was sent in your booth confirmation email, as well as the 2 newsletters that we have sent thus far. If you need us to resend that information, please email exhibit@same.org and we will get that to you. So once you sign in, you will come to the first exhibit welcome page. This will have everything that you need regarding attendee lists, our how-to documents, any tutorial videos that we have, and then just a couple of reminders that we had on the to-do list that you need to complete before March 22nd. So the first thing that we recommend is updating your demographic and directory information, which can be found in this section. Attendees will be searching for your company based on your demographic information that you should have completed during the process of completing your booth reservation. You can log back in, add any information. As Anne showed, the logo that will show up to tag your exhibit space in the virtual exhibit hall can be uploaded in this section as well. And then we also have a couple categories that Anne showed you that show you based on categories, either your NAICS code, alphabetically, I think A through L, A through M, then N through Z, so that attendees don't see a couple massive lists with everybody combined. We've added those categories to help navigate everything. So after you've updated your company demographics, just make sure that you've saved everything. The next process will be uploading your documents for your virtual booth space, and that can be done under your Virtual Booth Builder tab. Once you've accessed this page, you'll see a series of categories to upload documents. The example that I'm using here is a Tier 1 booth space. So obviously with Tier 3 and Tier 2 booths, there is a difference in the number of uploads and graphics that you can add. So just for here, I do have a Tier 1, so it might look a little different than yours. To add a document, you'll just need to click one of these add buttons. An important reminder, there's a couple different upload slots. Every slot will have you do a title, a description, and then important to note is a display image versus the media or document upload area. The display image will be a logo that you can add or a graphic that helps describe what the document is. So you'll add the image here and your document at this source tab. If you upload your document under the display image, it will not work. So just make sure that you test your documents to make sure that they upload, because there has been confusion with where you upload those two items. Here's an example of the video media source. It does offer a URL, so if you have a YouTube link or a link to an actual video, you can upload that versus an upload document. Once you've added all the information, obviously we want to make sure that you click Save. This process will be similar for each one of these items. Press releases have a little bit more information, but again, you do have an upload logo area and an upload file location. And then just as an example, I will go ahead and upload a document here for our SAME booth. All right, just to give you an example. So I uploaded the file. Here's a great example. The file does have restrictions. So if you upload a logo that's a little bit larger than what's allowed, you can move these lines to make your logo fit in the area. So here we go. I uploaded a document and an image, and I'll go ahead and click Save. And then here you see my one document titled SAME has been uploaded correctly. So next, we'll go ahead and, which is new to our virtual booth space this year, is the booth profile header image. I have already uploaded this document, but here if I go to edit, you can see that the height and weight requirements, are listed there. This image will be a profile header image, which will show up in your About Us page, which I'll show you in a second. This can be different from your logo, so definitely use that to your advantage. So after you've uploaded that, we do recommend that you upload your booth chat hours. As Anne mentioned, these are the hours that will trigger that online, offline button when an attendee comes to visit your virtual booth space. You can set your hours based on your availability, based on the schedule. You can do multiple hours in one day. So if you're available from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. on Friday and then only 12 to 2 p.m., you can certainly add that in. As a reminder, these are all set on Eastern Standard Time. So please make sure you take that into account. So after you add in all your hours, go ahead and click Save. So now for the fun part. Oh, great. You can see that all of my hours have uploaded here. So just make sure that you check back to add any edits or any additional hours that you are available. Once we hit this time frame, you'll see this go from online or offline to online. All right, so now our virtual booth graphics. I will go ahead and click the 2D booth graphics, which will bring you to this page right here. Excuse me. You'll want to click edit. I apologize for that, which will bring you to this page right here. New this year, you can see in real time each of your uploads as you go. So it will help you figure out where to put graphics, what looks good. So everything will be done in this left toolbar right here. Also new this year, you can pick your booth style. So here we have this lady right here. If you do not want her, you can remove her. You can change your booth background to be a little bit different. Let me go ahead and pick one. This looks pretty cool. So that is new to our Capital Week event. You can also select different backgrounds. I chose this scenic mountain view, but if you want to select something different, you can go ahead and filter these options in this left toolbar. All right, so now for your graphics. As you can see right here, you'll see A, B, C, D, and the letters that associate to each area of your uploads. To upload a certain graphic, you will just need to click that letter associating. And as you can see, I have pre-uploaded our SAME banner header. Once you have done so, you'll go ahead and click confirm. As a reminder, these lines help you know what is within the limits of the graphics. So I'll go ahead and click confirm and save. So you'll go ahead and do this for each one of your graphics, depending on your tier level. Right here for A, you can either, for those that have the video option, upload a TV video, or if you do not have a TV video option, you can go ahead and upload a graphic as well. So that looks good to me. I'll go ahead and save it. See if it refreshes. Must have not taken. Well, it should pop up, but that is how you upload your booth graphics. Oh, there it goes. All right, and once you are done with all of your graphics and you want to see the overview of your graphics, your document uploads, your About Us, what you'll need to do is go back to your virtual booth builder and go to the 2D booth preview. And this right here, kind of what Anne showed you with the Black and Beach example, is what attendees will see when they come to visit your booth space. As you can see down here, the chat offline button is correct. It will go online when I hit that March 22nd timeline. My contacts will be listed here of everybody that is registered from SAME. So if you need to contact anybody from a specific booth, you can certainly message them right there. And then right over here, you have your documents, which is the only thing I uploaded, your website, Twitter, LinkedIn, and then you can add a Facebook link as well. So right here, if I click About Us, this is the new profile graphic header that we spoke about. So definitely use that to your advantage to do something a little bit different besides your logo, which is right here. And as you can see, I have all of our information, our chat hours, and then any documents or videos that you uploaded will also be listed under your About Us here as well. So as Anne mentioned, or as I mentioned on the slide, what we had at SBC is our booth analytic report. I'll show you
Kelly,
our
before you go to the booth analytics, we do have a question from someone regarding the booth chat, and that it is not an issue, is it, if there are multiple people from the company manning the chat at the same time? Isn't that correct?
No, so you can have certainly more than one person manning the chat. You will see what other people are answering, which I can show you what I can do is I can show you right here. What Anne didn't have is this exhibitor networking portal. Everybody that is registered under your booth, the booth staff registration form for your exhibit booth will have this enter booth chat tab. It's not an issue whatsoever to have multiple people manning your chat. You will all see every message and every response that comes into your virtual booth space. So Anne or Jill, who is under my booth staff, will see any message that Anne sends me, and then I will see any message that Jill sends Anne. So you'll just want to make sure that there is no, if you had 10 people in there manning the chat, all 10 individuals aren't responding to one individual. So we do recommend maybe having 2 or 3 and then trying to schedule times of who's going to answer chats when they come in. But it's not an issue whatsoever to have multiple people manning the booth chat. All right, so back to the booth analytics. This is from SBC. So you will have a booth analytics tab that will show you the number of visitors and the total number of documents viewed. This will be something that you can download and use to your advantage, but you will have to note that it only will give you the individual's name and the company they're from. It will not give you their email address. So definitely recommend you can use the booth or the pre-conference attendee list to search any individuals that do visit your booth space that you want to connect with, but the report that you download from your booth analytic account will not include email addresses. It's just name and the individual's company. You can also review the total number of documents viewed, and you can click individually by each document to see who downloaded that exact document. So here you see a couple people downloaded the Why Join SAME document. We had 11 total views and unique views. 11 total views is, Patrick might have went in and viewed that document twice. So we had 8 people at least view the document once. So you will see this in your exhibitor account, Service Center account, excuse me. So this is a great way to connect with those that visited your account after the fact, or just to see how many videos were watched, website clicks. Here we have Twitter linked. So this is a great tool for you to use during and after the event. All right, so next I'm going to show you what we just touched on, how to enter the booth chat. I'm going to highlight a couple items that are new this year to help you all set yourself up for success, and then also see kind of who is in your booth, how to send a private message, and then also a couple ideas for driving traffic to your booth space. All right, so as Ann showed you, when you log in the day of the event, you will enter our Capital Week lobby. What you will see, anybody who is registered as a booth staff attendee will have this Exhibitor Networking Portal tab. This is where you will need to go to enter your booth chat. We'll discuss the one-on-one appointment process. You can view a booth staff list to make sure that anybody from your company who needs to be on your booth staff is correctly registered. And then you can also view your booth chat hours and edit them, which is great. So if I am on the day of the event scheduled to man my booth on March 22nd, you will log into the booth staff or the booth Exhibitor Networking Portal, I apologize, and enter booth staff. There we go. Okay, so over on the left side toolbar, you'll see all of the items, exhibitor booth, your company name. If you message a company as well, you'll also see that said company listed under exhibitor booths with anybody that you're chatting with. And mention the discussion groups, and then here are your private chats. If anybody attendees message your company and it's either a more in-depth conversation or they need to message someone specifically from your company, this is where the private booth chats will live. As of right now, I have a chat going on with Ann McLeod and Jill Murphy. So this will just be between you and the individual that you're messaging. So we do recommend if someone has a very specific question, if I received a very specific question about membership, I would say, hey, Jill Murphy would be able to answer this question for you. Let me have her connect with you to discuss further. So this is where the private booth chat will take place. One cool feature that is new this year is if you're in your virtual booth space, down here you see if I can move this, you'll see this checkbox right here. You can type in a automatic sticky note response and check the box. So this response will automatically send to anybody who has messaged your virtual booth space. So if there is a specific message you want to say, hey, thank you for attending virtual SBC. Thank you for visiting our booth space. Please send me your email address and phone number. That message will always show up when someone messages you directly to your virtual booth space. So definitely use that to your advantage. If you are unavailable during a specific time or are running some type of promotion or raffle, you can certainly enter, send us 3 fun facts about you to enter to win a free Starbucks gift card. That way you don't have to continuously enter that same message in for everybody who is messaging you. So that's a really cool feature. So with that being said, we do recommend to kind of set you all up for success to use the pre-conference attendee list to promote that your company is a virtual exhibitor. We've seen a couple cool giveaways, but with the virtual conferences these days, offering up free, virtual Starbucks gift cards for anybody, like I said, who sends 3 fun facts about yourself, or virtual lunch gift cards for someone who sends me their email address and their favorite quarantine hobby. That way it helps our attendees, encourage them to engage in the virtual exhibit hall. Since we're not in a in-person exhibit hall, we want to make sure that our attendees definitely still have the enthusiasm to get in there, message you all, try to get involved any way that they can. So those are just a couple simple ideas that you can do before the event to really get people to visit your virtual booth space. And now we have another poll question. Have you exhibited at SAME in the past? Yes, but only in person. Yes, I did a virtual event last year. We thank you. And no, this is my first time exhibiting at SAME. And our last option, and if you select this, please feel free to give me a call, and I'd love to discuss. SAME has exhibiting opportunities. We'd love to see your response.
All right, it looks like 77% of our folks did a virtual event with us last year, so that's great. We've got 3 people who've only exhibited in person and 2 people who said this is their first time.
Well, welcome to all of those individuals who this is their first time, and the individuals that have never done a virtual exhibit hall. And welcome back to everybody who exhibited with us in 2020. We're excited to have you back.
Yeah, for the folks who are coming back to us, maybe you can enter your top tip for success into the chat so you can share that with other folks. All right, well, let's talk about the appointments real quick. So this is a new feature of Capital Week. And all of the appointments are one-on-one. So if you participated in the Small Business Conference, that was a individual requesting an appointment with an organization or a company or a government agency. These are individual to individual, person to person appointments. So you as the booth coordinator, you don't have to manage all the appointments for everyone. So I'm sure that's great news for you guys. All the appointments during Capital Week will be 15 minutes long, and there's a 5-minute break between. The appointments are scheduled at times where there are no sessions, so we wanted to deconflict those things. So you can request appointments with other people, and they can request appointments with you. There is no obligation to participate, and there is no obligation for anyone to accept your appointment request, and you are not obligated to meet with anyone who requests an appointment with you. You have complete control over your schedule, and we're going to show you how to do that in a moment. So we highly suggest, if you are not going to participate, if you don't want anyone to request an appointment with you, we recommend that you just block out your whole schedule. That way no one can ask you for an appointment. So prior to Capital Week, you're going to manage all of this in the ASC, which is the Attendee Service Center. Every person has their own ASC login that they receive when they register. So if you're not registered, you're not going to be able to do any of this yet. So keep that in mind, and it's different than your Exhibitor Service Center. During Capital Week, you can manage all of this appointment stuff in the live event platform under the networking. So, appointment requests will open next Thursday. And right now we are in the phase where we recommend that everyone manage their schedule. You should update your attendee demographic information now as well. There is no deadline to request appointments. So during Capital Week, people can still request appointments with you if you've got availability, and vice versa. And the actual appointments will take place through the platform. This is the same exact system as used for SBC, just tweaked a little bit. So I am going to show you now how to manage the schedule in the Attendee Service Center, request appointments, manage appointments, and all that good stuff. So let's go to the Attendee Service Center. Okay. Here we are in the Attendee Service Center. And what you want to do in order to manage your schedule is click on one-on-one appointment schedule here on the left menu bar. This is going to show you all the days and times at which there are appointments. So I have gone in and I have basically blocked out my entire schedule already. You can see by the green check marks. The system does default. Everyone is opted in. And when you come here, you are going to see that all of these are open. So I'm going to uncheck these. That now means I'm available. And if I check them, that means I am unavailable. And it's pretty much as simple as that to manage your schedule. I will just mention here, you see that I have these two yellow calendar icons. That means that somebody has either requested an appointment from me or I've requested an appointment with someone else at those times, and it's yellow because the appointment is pending, and we're going to get to that in just a moment. So in order to update my demographic information, I'm going to click on Edit Registration Form. And this is slightly cumbersome, so we apologize about that. And then I'm going to head here to Edit. This is going to allow me to review my information. I mean, maybe I noticed I made a typo in my title. I can fix that. Actually, this is not our address. So maybe I want to fix that. Great. I can come down here, review this other information. I'm going to click continue. And it is going to show this other demographic information. So a lot of times your answer to this top question is going to trigger additional questions. So let me do that so you can see. Now I've checked that I'm with private industry. It asks me number of employees. Since I say I'm a small business, now I can check off that I'm 8A certified. Here's where I can indicate my NAICS code and my main job responsibility. All of these fields are ways that you can be searched, and that's why it's important to review it. You want to just click continue till you're all the way to the end. And now everything should be saved. So that is the right now way to manage everything. And again, on Thursday, we will open the appointment requests. So I'm going to go to that appointment request page. This page is not live yet, so you're not going to see it. And I am going to come here. So on this networking appointments page, you will see these tabs here at the top. The appointments tab is going to show you the appointments that either you have requested or someone that has requested from you. How can I tell? You can see here this appointment with Kelly. It says appointment owner Ann McLeod. That means I, Ann, requested appointment with Kelly. This appointment with Sarah shows Sarah as the appointment owner, and that means that she is the originator of the appointment. Here I can see up here it shows you the date. It's going to organize this into days and then times. And this shows the status. You can see here is our key. And since Sarah requested an appointment from me, I can click on the calendar icon and I either am going to confirm the appointment with Sarah or decline. So I can send a note to Sarah saying, you know, thanks so much and whatever else. So if somebody has a requested appointment with you, maybe you want to say, can you please send me your capability statement in advance? Send it to me at my email address, which is here. And then you can either confirm or decline the appointment. If you're going to decline the appointment with someone out of respect, maybe you want to say, I'm so sorry, I'm no longer available at this time, or whatever reason for declining. It's always nice to give people a reason. So let me confirm this appointment with Sarah. You can see now that this has turned into a checkbox. Okay. On the search tab is where I can search for attendees. Let's go there real quick. So this is how I can search for attendees and also request an appointment. So maybe I'm looking for a women-owned small business in NAICS code 236220. So let me search. It is going to give me all of the people who meet those criteria. So now I can see the individuals. And if I click on their name, you'll see that Priscilla's profile comes up, tells me a little bit more about Priscilla. Great. Oh, wow. She fits perfectly into what I'm looking for. And now I can request an appointment with Priscilla. So I've clicked on that calendar. You can see, great. Priscilla has gone in here. She has managed her schedule. She's completely blocked off. Oh my gosh. She's very popular. Can't make an appointment with her, unfortunately. And there you go. Let's click on Buddy and see. Oh, this is his profile. Let's just see if he's available. He isn't. So anyway, you get the gist. And I can also bookmark people if I want to remember. Maybe I want to remember to connect with them during the live event. You can use the bookmark feature. This page is another place where you can search for exhibitors. So this search, I'm sure, looks familiar, similar to SBC. Here is where I can search for companies. Maybe I want to find all the companies that conduct business in Alabama. I'm going to click search, and it said nobody was found, in which case I can continue my search. let me just do a list all here. And this is how I can search or bookmark other exhibitors. I can click on their name and it shows you that profile. And there you have it. So appointments, again, is where I am going to manage my appointments. And this is what you will see in the Capital Week live event platform. Will look very similar to this. The bookmarks shows my list of bookmarks. This PDF itinerary will show me everything. Oops, sorry, that opened on the other window. This shows me my appointments and it shows me my list of bookmarks. So that is extremely handy as well. So if I go back to the live event platform and I'm in the networking portal and this SmartMatch Appointments, you will see these tabs. It looks just like it looked on the Attendee Service Center, and this is how you can manage all your appointments during Capital Week, so you don't have to flip through the Attendee Service Center and the VEM. So let's see, I think I covered everything that we wanted to for the appointments. And yes, so that is what we've got. If you have any questions at all, let us know. There was a question way back from the beginning that asked what is going to be covered in the attendee training that's not being covered today. We'll probably go a little bit more into the different sessions and what's happening. A lot of time is going to be spent on the appointments. We wanted to spend that time with you today so you don't have to feel obligated to do the attendee training. And of course, we are going to record that. So if you don't want to be on another webinar, you don't have to. Okay, other questions. Can you set up a group meeting or can you invite others to your one-on-one meeting? Currently, the appointments are only one-on-one. Unfortunately, our vendor is working on being able to have small group meetings by video, but right now it is only one-on-one. So that was a great question. Okay, seems like we have covered all the questions. So unless, okay, we've got someone who said they updated their title on the registration form, but it hasn't shown up yet in the chat area. Sometimes it's a little bit of a delay. So if you're not seeing that as updated by tomorrow morning, let us know and we can look into that. Okay, great. Well, Kelly, anything else that you wanted to add for the good of the order?
Nope. Just please reach out if you have any specific questions or issues with the upload or virtual exhibiting process. We know it's a lot different than in person and is new to a lot of you. So questions, comments, concerns, please send them our way. We are here to help you in any way that we can.
Awesome. Well, great. Well, thank you again, everyone, for being with us today. We hope that you found this to be helpful. Again, we are recording this. If you want to listen to it again, or if any of your colleagues missed it, and as always, we are here to help you. So don't hesitate to reach out if we can provide assistance in any way. We wish you a great afternoon. And thank you so much again for participating in Capital Week as an exhibitor. We look forward to a great event. And I forgot to mention, I was going to mention this earlier, we do have about 700 people registered at this point, and we're adding more every day. So with that, thanks so much, and we'll see you on the digital floor.